Hi guys, welcome back to our channel, to my channel, a channel that I opened to share my infertility journey. So yeah, so I'm back, I think, with the last episode, because of pressures from work, life and all. I've seen that, let me just finish everything, and then because I've been finding it hard to record. So today my husband decided to join, since it's our last episode. So he decided to join. So yeah, so if you remember last time, I was talking about I started talking about the IVF journey, that part of our infertility journey. It included us doing IVF. So I think my husband can share a little bit on that. Yeah.
Okay.
Terence can share a little bit on that.
Yes. So I don't know where you ended, but I'm assuming that.
I just spoke about the IVF journey. I just.
Or the challenges that.
The challenges,
that we face.
Yeah. I
So
didn't really go in detail.
Into detail with that. Yeah. Look, I mean, it was a very difficult time of our life. Where do I start? Insofar as the IVF journey is concerned, it was a difficult part for me as a person. I think I'll speak for myself. It wasn't something that I was anticipating that I would have had to go through, because I didn't anticipate having a situation where I would need to involve doctors and go through all those scientific processes just to try and conceive and have a baby. But it was the only option that was provided by the medical professionals. So we decided, look, I mean, let's give it a try. Let's explore it. I won't get too much into detail on what actually happened and what transpired and what we had to do on a daily basis, apart from the fact that it required a lot of time and money, and it required a lot of patience to go through the whole process. So we ultimately got to the time when we had enough money. We gathered enough money to start the process. After we deposited the required funds, we started the process. I think it was in 2017, in February, if I'm correct. That's the time when we actually started the actual process. We had to do the injections and everything that came with the process, the blood tests, frequent blood tests, and frequent doctor's visits as well. At that time, my wife was no longer working because we felt that, in fact, it wasn't even our choice. We had no choice because it wasn't going to be possible to go through that process and at the same time be at work. It's something that requires a person to have time and to have the kind of flexibility which is usually not available in all jobs. I mean, it's natural because a business is trying to make money, so they wouldn't afford to have that situations where they would have to let you be away from work for a long period of time. So for that reason, we felt that it was fair on both sides for her as the employee and also the employer, that they needed to go through this separation process. So fast forward, we had to go to the hospital. I think the hospital is in the South Coast. I think that's where the fertility clinic is. When we got there very early in the morning, this was after the number of days that we required for the harvesting process of the follicles. Fortunately, we managed to get the required follicles, but
how many were there, by the way?
Maybe around 7, 8.
I think 7.
7, but I think some were damaged.
Okay.
Because remember, it's through a process of selection. So normally in this kind of situations, you never even have children with deformities through an IVF process, because the selection of the egg and the sperms themselves, it's actually done outside of the natural process. So wherever there are any form of deformities on the egg or on whatever as part of the process. It's selected. So you select carefully because you're trying to get the best out of the process. So there were some of them which were not usable, so they had to discard some of those, and we kept some. And successfully they managed to harvest, and also they managed to do the fertilization on the same day, because it's there's difference between this whole process in the sense that you can have fresh fertilization, which is on the day when you are harvesting the eggs. That's when you fertilize the egg with the sperm. Then you've got the frozen ones where you keep them frozen. So we elected actually to have both. Some of them were frozen and some of them were then fertilized as fresh. So after that, after the fertilization process, you then go through the process of, in fact, just to correct myself, all of them would be fertilized during that period. Yeah. It's just that some of them you freeze them, and
for
some
later
of them
use.
for later use, and some of them you can have to go through the implantation process as soon as they are found to be viable during that period. So we waited again for a few more days before we could come back again for them to do the implantation process. I'm told it's very painful.
It was painful. I don't want to lie. It's like every procedure that I had, I experienced a lot of pain. So yeah, I can say it was painful, but before I went to do the procedure, I used to do my searches. Some women were saying it wasn't painful, but others were saying it was painful for them. So I'm one of those that found it painful, unfortunately for me. Yeah. Yes.
So I wouldn't know much about it, but I remember she was uncomfortable with the whole process.
Yeah.
So they had to do it. I think there were two fertility specialists who assisted with the process. There are so many other people that are involved in the process, which includes the people that do the actual fertilization. I think they call him an embryologist, something like that. It's a new profession that I wasn't aware actually existed. So when that happened, we had to wait for a further 5 days to check whether or not the process was actually successful or not. It was an anxious wait because you literally obviously have to do blood tests in order to check whether or not she was indeed pregnant after the fertilization process, the implantation process actually. After those 5 days, I think I was at work, and I remember she was at home, so she had to go on her own. I think to one of the laboratories, local laboratories.
Lancet, yeah.
Yes. So after she went there, they took the blood tests. I think they don't give you the results immediately.
Yeah, they don't.
Yeah, so you either manage to
the next day or so
to access the results on the app.
Or they will phone you.
Or they will phone you, or you go that side, go and get the actual results. So
yeah.
She went and collected them. I think I wasn't there. I was. What I'm saying is now what I was told by you.
Yeah.
What happened when you went to collect the results? Do you remember?
No, they didn't tell me the results there. They phoned. You were at work. Remember, I wasn't working that time.
Yes.
So I was at home, and they called me. So you know the way they delivered the message, it was like so casual, like it's you're not pregnant. You know, it's a negative. They told me the EC, what do you call it? The count. Is it? Geez, what, you know that count? is it?
CG something.
CG, yeah. So it was 5 mils. So that was a clear negative. You see,
it was less than 5.
It was less than 5, or you know, where it was clearly they didn't find any pregnancy hormone in me. So they just told me so bluntly on the phone to say, no, you're not pregnant. It was below 5 mils. So I remember that day I was so broken, you know, I just started crying. And then I know my auntie phoned me because I think one person knew the process that we were going through, that was my aunt. So she called me and said, how did it go? How are the results? And I just told her, no, it didn't work out. Shame. I think she then later on tried to call you, and yeah. But yeah, that's what happened. And I also called you and I was crying. I don't know if
yeah. So in fact, I was actually in a meeting at work.
I don't know how you felt when I delivered that message.
It was a meeting, so I requested because it wasn't like a formal meeting. It was like some committee meeting where we were adjudicating on something. So I requested the chairperson to be excused. So I immediately went home because I knew things were not okay.
Yeah.
I think together we phoned the doctor. Because the doctor also gets the results immediately. So as soon as because they have a system where the doctor is also able to access the results. In fact, the forms which you use to go and do the blood test with the doctor's name and everything. So the information automatically goes to the doctor and also comes to you. So the doctor said, guys, this is the result that we have received. It didn't take. In fact, that's what he said.
Yes.
So we knew that the whole investment had gone down the drain. The investment in funds, in emotions, in time, in everything, and even the sacrifice of having to quit a job.
Yes, the sacrifice. Imagine, guys, I quit my job.
Yeah, so
I was now a stay-at-home wife, and the one thing that we were trying to make happen, it didn't happen.
Yes,
so
that's where the
frustration of staying at home alone. I know. I mean, like other men or women who are not working, I think you can agree with me here. It's not easy, being at home. That disturbance of a job, that being busy. It's unless it's your own choice.
Yeah.
For me, I find I lose my mind when I'm not working. When I'm sitting at home, I lose my mind here. I can't. It's not for me.
Yeah, I mean, it's obviously everyone wants to be
busy on something
as useful as they can.
Yeah.
So that was it. So we had to pick up from where we left off. So the doctor said, look, it's not the end of the road. You still have the other frozen ones. So we have the option where you can come through and we do it again. So coincidentally, today we are celebrating my son's 5th birthday. We are right next to the same hospital where everything was taking place. So it's
I think let's after this let's take a drive. And then maybe we can.
Yeah, it's actually less than 100 meters from here.
I hope we are clear because we are just next to the sea, and we can actually hear the waves from here.
I think the feedback
so I hope it's
may
not
be that good.
Yes.
But we decided, look, I mean, it's a lovely place. But
and it has memories.
We have bittersweet memories of this place because we had issues obviously when we were going through the IVF journey. But there was like a nice place just close by to the place. In fact, when we were looking for bookings, we never knew that it was this close to the hospital. So when it was my son's first birthday, we were looking for places. We saw this place on the internet. And then when we got to the place, that's only when we realized that look, this is the place where we used to come, which is just opposite the same place. So it's a historical.
It's what, number 305 for those who one day visit Amanzimtot.
It's
in the south coast.
Yeah, 305.
It's 305 Guest Lodge. That's the name, 305 Guest Lodge. It's like we feel like we at home. Like it's just it's such a nice place. Yeah.
So we decided to celebrate.
So as we are speaking, actually, there are maybe let me just give them a quick view. So there's a lot that happens here. So I'll just show you. Like there's a couple that is getting married. So there's a guy who's proposing. So I don't know if you can see. So there is the team, and then I think the guy is going to do the proposal at that angle there. So those are the, that's the lady and I guess her friends. Yeah, well, it's not so clear, but yeah, we just opposite the sea. Yeah, so a lot happens here. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so we had to wait so for a couple of more months to raise more funds actually, so that we could do the second one with the frozen ones.
Yes.
Didn't have much hope anyway, because I mean, if you didn't succeed with the fresh ones, dealing with the frozen ones, and yeah, it's, with each time that passed, there was always some feeling of despair, and a loss of faith and hope. So we waited June. We had to do the process again, but this time around, because remember they were frozen already, so it was just an issue of implantation. Yeah. So we went through it. It also didn't work, unfortunately. So we in fact lost the entire investment. It was a confirmation around June, somewhere there in 2017, that this is it. So we're back to square one. The whole journey of trying to make sure that we come up with something that we thought was going to give us what we were looking for did not work. So we then had to explore other opportunities, and this time that's when we remembered that sometime in 2016, I think February, I think we had been married for about 2 years only.
Yeah.
We had been told that we could visit a church where there was a possibility of us being able to be prayed for.
So my uncle, my uncle and my auntie's wife, they told us about the church. Yeah,
they did. So and I dismissed it.
Yeah, it's a prophetic church. So we are, both of us, we are of a Roman Catholic background.
Catholics, yeah.
So you see, Pentecostal churches are very different from our conventional churches. The Roman Catholics, the Anglican, the Methodists, they are very different, right, to Pentecostal churches. So that's the stance that we took at that time. We were like, a prophet, actually, okay, the man of God, the church is ECG, the Jesus Nation Church,
yes.
and Prophet Shepherd Bushiri.
Yes.
Yeah, so you can see it was very different from, in Roman Catholic, there are no prophecies, there are no,
so don't do those things.
Not even instruments in church, so it was very different.
But understandably, we nowadays, I mean, it's not everything that is happening in church which is good. So
yes,
we
so
were
you
skeptical.
you have to be vigilant. Yeah.
Yes, we were skeptical. So
yes.
I then said, no, I mean, it's a scientific process. So let's just follow the scientific, what science says. So if you can't conceive, there's a reason. So let's explore that.
That's why we explored the scientific, the IVF.
Yeah. So after we explored that and we failed. We now had to go back now to the faith part of it, because in any case we're not looking forward to anything anymore.
Yes.
We were saying, okay, if it works, it works. What do we have to lose?
And this is a man of God. It's like we're going to a sangoma. Why don't we give it a try? That's what we said. It's not like we're going to a sangoma or
Yes.
So yeah, we.
So we. In fact, what we did is we started listening to the messages
first.
So it wasn't an issue
preachings
of
and
saying, no, I'm looking for something and that will be
I
it.
just want a miracle.
But we were very, very, very careful in the sense that we wanted to find out what does he preach about, what is the word, what is it that, because then we discovered that it was quite different from what we knew. The way that the Bible was explained, the way that
and Terence is not easily convinced, guys. He's not easily convinced. So to my surprise, he said, "Hi, this man this man knows the word, you know. I'm like, okay. Okay, brother.
Because I also read the word, so
Yeah,
I
he
knew the
reads
word,
the word
as
a
well. So
lot.
I started reading the word when I was very young.
Mm.
So the issue was, let me hear
For myself.
what they have to
before-
say, because
yeah.
look, I mean, people want things to happen in their lives, and naturally they do, and other people will take advantage of the fact that people want things to
Things
happen
to
in their
happen
lives.
fast, yeah, you know.
But the Christian faith is not so much about what can happen to you, but it's a journey towards salvation. So when I started hearing the preachings and everything, I was more convinced. But I then said, look, let's go and speak to someone that goes to the same church. Also, it's part of an investigation process that we're doing actually. To say we want to find out what's going on. There were also other things that we have heard about the church which are negative. So we decided, look, let's find out from a person who's been there and see what exactly and hear from them. So and this is family. This is our aunt and our uncle. So we actually traveled. It was far from where we were staying. We were staying in Mpumalanga, somewhere about 10 hours drive from where we were. So we drove to their place. We actually had a nice time. They explained everything to us.
And actually, it was on a Friday when we got there. So there is a Friday service that happens. So we arrived on a perfect day. We were watching the service with them. You know, the way they had their notebooks, and we could see, you know, like it was just, you know.
Yeah. We had not seen them like that before.
Yeah, so, yeah.
So, but we are now convinced. Now, look, I mean, these people are now understanding and the word of God.
It's not about
level.
miracles, guys. It's about the love of God, the word,
At
you know.
different levels. So that just heightened our faith.
Guy, come here.
To such an extent that
Hey.
we ended up understanding what they were talking about. They say it's
so that I can hold the big baby. Wait.
It's all to do with your faith.
I know. You still then, guys. Oh. Guys, the birthday boy is so naughty. He's the naughtiest member of our family. No, can you behave now? Can we listen to Daddy?
I'm losing my chain of thought. But
yes, we went to Mpumalanga.
Yeah, so we went to Mpumalanga.
No, I don't want to beat you now.
We had a wonderful time there.
Go back.
In fact, we understood more about the church and about the programs. I think the most important thing was that there was an international visitors program. So it was an opportunity for the prophet to actually pray for people.
So that time the prophet was still in Pretoria. So it's called International Visitors Program because it wasn't only for the people staying in South Africa. So it's open to people come from UK, people come from all parts of the world. That's why it's called an International Visitors Program.
Yeah, so it's a weekend program. So we were fortunate that during that period, that's when that one came through.
So this one was specific to what we needed because the program was called Fruit of I must get married and Fruit of the Womb. So it was for those who are looking for to get married, or those that are having issues in their marriage to get marriage restoration, or those that are looking for the fruit of the womb. So I went on my own actually. Yeah.
So she decided to go. I think what I can't remember. I think at that time you were back at work.
Yes, I was back. Okay,
Yes,
so after the IVF failed, the next year I decided to go back to work. I'm like, okay, we tried this thing. There's no way we're going to do this again. It costed us so much money. So I decided, okay, let me go back to work. So I went back to the same workplace that I was, and then I was back at work. So now, obviously time constraints. But I had to. Okay, the program. Okay, it's still there. So I'll say the program. Usually, it starts on a Friday. So it's Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
Yes.
So Sunday night it ends, or we can say Monday morning, because it usually goes into the morning. You finish around 2 a.m., 1 a.m. So yeah. So I took I decided, okay, it was in Pretoria, so I took an overnight bus.
Yeah.
I traveled to Pretoria. I got there Friday morning.
Mm.
Yeah, I got there Friday morning. And guys, the atmosphere. The atmosphere. You've been there as well.
Yes, I went at a later stage. Remember?
You went at a later stage. Yes.
You came and told me.
I came and told you.
So she went to Pretoria. She got prayed for. I think she will know the detail of what would have transpired during the process, but I could sense a different person when she came back. It was Monday morning because she had to go to work on Monday morning, so we decided that she was going to catch an early flight from Johannesburg because that time it was in Gauteng, right? So I had to go and pick her up. There was an 8 or 7 a.m. flight. So I was coming from home, picked her up. She didn't go home. She went straight to work at that time, but I could sense that there was something different. She was more positive, had more faith. Actually believed that everything had happened. But during that time, I was also watching on TV because it was also showing on TV. So there's a channel which is available for, I think it's on YouTube, and it's also on different other social media platforms where
Anotida, please stop being naughty. Can you stop being naughty, please?
He's just interrupting. So we then decided, just move. we then decided that
come sit here, my baby. Come sit next to mommy. Come sit here. Come sit here. No, sit here. Sit there next to mommy. Thank you, boy. You can move closer to mommy. Come. Yes. No, don't go there. Sit here like this. Good. Yeah, we can continue.
Yeah, so when she came back, then there's also a TV channel that's available, I think, on social media platforms, and also
stop it.
Just for the benefit of those people that would want to also be connecting and watching and build their own faith through watching and listening, because it's a personal journey. Actually, it's not something that you would want to tell a person about it. Yeah.
Should we maybe not make it in the next?
Yeah, I think we can move it for the next episode, because
because I don't want it to become too long, because then the loading process becomes a nightmare. But we're just gonna record everything today and finish it. But I'm just gonna make it I'm going to make it a separate. I mean, to explain the whole process of what transpired at church and how we finally got to have Anotida, who's turning 5. And also I'll mention Noku as well. So I think for now we are going to end here. Thank you so much, guys, for listening.
Thank you for watching.
Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I don't know if I'm going to continue with after, because my whole purpose was to share my story and encourage someone out there. And I was time wise I struggle with time, but I'll try to be posting here and there, but
no, definitely. I think probably to take a different angle, but she may continue to post.
I may, yes, because I'm still trying to lose weight, guys. I know I mentioned it in my first. I'm still trying. You can see it hasn't happened yet, so I still want to. Okay, all right.
Okay, thanks. Shalom.
Thank you. Okay.
What?
I just want to take a video.
Why? You can.
So this is the hospital. Let me just. That's the hospital
For what?
where we came to do IVF.
Huh?
We're trying to have you. So it's Netcare Kingsway Hospital.
In the South Coast.
In the South Coast. Oh, in my last video I made a mistake. I said in the North Coast. It's actually in the South Coast. So it's just opposite to where we have been staying.